Very good evening. Welcome to my channel. This is Royal Bangalore Food, and this is your host. My name is Paul. Welcoming each and every one to this live edition of Royal Bangalore Food. We're talking about Cloud Kitchen, and today's episode is all about marketing and promotions. I've gone ahead and laid this up very much in related to what is required to be done to go ahead and launch your cloud kitchen. I do shorts and I do live and I upload also video. So with that in mind, I would request you to go ahead and hit that like and subscribe because that's how we all kickstart and work around in this particular meeting. Oh, I'm sorry for that ignore. Wow, somebody is just driving so fast. Okay, so let me quickly change the color of it. Yeah, this is okay. Great, this is nice. All right, so we covered the previous episode was all about understanding, cost control in terms of using your software, your inventory management, your cost management. Also speaking about in terms of your manpower and hiring and what kind of staff is required. How do we do this in terms of what menu is organized is all about. So next episode talk about the menu and planning, specifically menu engineering. How do we upload recipe management and stick with it so that your food cost and your food wastage remains less than the market standard. The market standard is somewhere between 2 to 5%, but I don't think so. 5% is too less because these days none of the Indian segments or at a hotel or restaurants really do follow in terms of food costing and food wastage. It is horrendous, it's horrific, it's all over the place. So, that's a great science is required to go ahead and do that, provided you have a wonderful chef. A chef or a owner who understands food, who understands food science, food technology in terms of seasonal vegetables and fruits, what kind of menu has to be organized, proportion, portion, positioning. There are various subjects to talk about it. So today we're going to talk about very clearly it's about marketing and promotions. First of all, my question to you is: do you require, marketing for your cloud kitchen? Just a moment. Let me increase this. Yeah, yeah. So what I was saying is that do you require, uh, marketing and promotions for your cloud kitchen? For your answer will be yes. We are living in the world of AI. Yeah. So it's you need to have, right? What is it that you require to go ahead and kickstart? Okay. Uh, First of all, you have to understand that Cloud Kitchen needs absolutely online marketing. Okay. Think about it before going into the subject of launching this Cloud Kitchen. You need to very well understand that you cannot go ahead and just launch any kind of food businesses at this current juncture, at this current era, without social media marketing or a marketing strategy or a marketing promotional activities, specifically on the online segment. Until December, we also it's traditional. It's more of a influencer marketing, promotions, so on and so forth. But today, it's come back to the organic way of doing it. It's basically utilizing the artificial intelligence through some kind of data that you have to generate based on the menu that you plan along with you and your chef. Then your entire marketing strategy, the homework has to start from there on. Okay, so the clear answer is that yes, you need to have a fantastic marketing strategy, absolutely watertight, so-called watertight, what we call it as. There should not be any loopholes in terms of addressing what you're trying to promote, and you have to leverage almost all the channels. Now, please understand, not many, everybody is doing the same thing, right? You're on Google My Business page, Swiggy and Zomato gives you their own marketing gimmicks in terms of the keyword search, in terms of the menu is concerned, in terms, for example, if you're doing a chicken biryani, you have nothing two ways about it. And also covered in terms of what exactly, your food should look like, what recipe should look like, how you can create an intellectual property behind it by using certain ingredients, certain GI tag. If I'm mentioning, remember, if you can, GI tag is called as. So, these are the points that you have to remember. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm just already thirsty. Yeah. So like I was saying that you need to have certain impulse orientation about having a marketing strategy on place, and this has to conceive and run as long as your business exists. Even on the last day, if you're trying to shut down and absolutely no sales, you should go ahead and do it, because once you create that market, and that market customers are yours, right? Now, what I mean by that is basically when you're trying to target certain audiences within your society or within your area or within the parameter or a peripheral of 5 to 10 kilometers. If you can deliver 10 kilometers, nothing like it, right? So within 5 kilometers, let's say what Swiggy says 2 kilometers, right? So let's stay with 2 kilometers. In 2 kilometers, you'll have more than 1 lakh population, right? So within 1 lakh population, let's say 50% are non-vegetarians. If you're doing a non-vegetarian cuisines cloud kitchen, under that 50%, you need to understand whether the 10% or the 5% are the ones who regularly order or probably order in or order online. So for that 5% of market, you have to understand how many men, how many women, how many elderly people, residential, commercial order system, basically an entire order management system you have to be tracking by using a software, so-called the point of sale, which will give you a clear insights and analytics to mentioning what period of time or day that they order. Based on that, you have to do all your marketing. Now, marketing doesn't start from day one, because it also starts the moment you lay your hands while registering your company. Yeah, that's how you have to remember, because marketing doesn't mean that you gather all the data then you work around it. That's not going to happen, because once you put your location in place, once you put your food in place, once you put your packaging, once you put everything in place, you also need to add one more column of marketing budgeting, marketing, we're looking at the opportunities in terms of some certain ads that you want to drive in or you want to do, because since it's the cloud kitchen, obviously it's all order in and delivery system. So your delivery packaging, sustainable, biodegradable, your food in terms of the shelf life, the lab testing, the water that you use, everything can be showcased in the marketing point of view. Whatever you do, it has to be recorded live or on a video case, because everything is transparent. Please understand, in the cloud kitchen concept, of in any context for the matter of fact, it has to be the transparency, the trust, and basically the throttle that you have to do your sales upon it. If you do not have a transparency and the trust factor between your customers and your end customers and your users in terms of your vendors that you buy in from, I mean, there's absolutely no point of doing food business. See, many old people, or rather the older segment or older brands like MTR and many other, right, in Bangalore, wherever in the world, what they've done right is that they've built enough of trust and enough of, what do you call, rapport building with their vendors, from their employees, from their staffs, obviously then your customers as well, because then you live up to the expectations what you've set, right? So keep that in mind, always making sure that you keep your vision right and stick to the vision in terms of your quality, hygiene, standardizations, in terms of deliveries concerned. And you mind you, right? So today many people think it's a great leverage to make money. It is that you can go ahead and make money. The margins are more than 18% and above, and if you really do a great job, and if you're not taking care of your food cost and food wastage, your margin is going to remain as low as 0.5, probably 5%, or maximum 3%. That's the whole idea that you have to look at it. Let me put this in silence. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so what I was saying is that today marketing is not only about to understand the customer target audiences, where you're trying to sell, where you put up an ad, what kind of social media trying to influence that you have on your social media campaigns. Everything matters a lot. Not only that, right? So even if the smallest of smallest your packaging bag does mention saying that thank you for your order, looking forward for it, like how Domino's did it. I take lot of homework the way Domino's have scaled. They used to give this in their promotional coupon along with their sauces and oregano and chili flakes. They would always leave a tearaway note. So, I mean, which means that a repeat order has to come within the next day or 2 day, right? So you'll tear that, you'll get some discount coupon, you call in and say, hey, you know what, I need pizza. So something has to be done, or you tell your customers, if you give a glass-based item, if you return it back, and we would give you some kind of returns in it. So the marketing opportunities and ideas are limitless in terms of this cloud kitchen is concerned, right? So let's look at the very first point that you have to look at it in terms of what marketing that you have to organize to make sure that you run your cloud kitchen very successfully and profitably. More importantly, sustainability is the key point here, and we're trying to create a brand. Remember, if you're coming to Royal Bangalore Food and you're talking to me in terms of the comment section, any question that you have, we are creating brands. Okay, so the first point is that developing a market strategy. It involves identifying the target audience, developing a brand identity, creating a digital presence, and planning a promotional campaigns. The first point is that looking at the target audience. Now, on a brief segment, what is target audience? Target audience are those audience or customers or end users who will eventually end up ordering on your site. Now, just give you a small example. If I had a crowd, I could have asked this question. But even though the question is that, let's say you kickstarted, you're on Swiggy. How will people in Swiggy app or customers of Swiggy app, how do they know that one particular Royal Bangalore Fruit as a brand has come up and they're selling one of the best biryanis along with kebabs, raita, and probably a dessert? How would they know? Okay, so you have to identify your target audiences based on the target audiences. Remember what I told you, that you have to have your marketing strategy from the day one that you launch. So some kind of physical marketing technique also has to be laid across, which includes your pamphlets, your flyers, talking to a lot of churches, temples, gathering, networking, your office crowd. If you're in an apartment, reach out to the Adda group, the software group, or that WhatsApp group saying that, hey, you know what, this is a particular brand of launched and we're doing this. And this is what we look at. We offer from 7 to 7 all day breakfast or all day lunch or all day snacks. Whatever it is, a fantastic flyer will actually help you to showcase that initial customers coming in and ordering on your online site. I mean, it's always preferable that you have your own site and you can leverage, the other point of sales coming in and integrating to you as an application, and then you can take it forward. But it's up to you. But I would always suggest that you have your own website. Because when you have your own website, you can create stories, recipes, blog chains. You can create wonderful content beyond it in terms of videos, shorts, reels. You could also talk question and answers. You can take the question and answers. So many media can be created in and around this online media channels promoting your brand, right? So there are various ways. Your target audience is that you have to identify target audience. So as I mentioned, it could be a society, it could be the place that you're living in, you're trying to deliver within 2 kilometers range or a 5 kilometers range. All these things will come into handy, and then put that data in place. There's no point of you buying data or WhatsApp, getting into an email account. In India, I don't think so. Everybody's looking at email, as long as if it is a promotional activity in terms of a lottery or a job perspective. Okay, email campaign is absolutely no in terms of Bangalore's concern, but I'm not sure. I might be wrong. If anybody knows I've done email marketing really well, please look up, because I would like to learn and understand how does really email marketing helps you to scale up, right? So that's about it. So that's about just a moment, yeah, about target audience. And when you just want to end the target audience. The target audience is also about to understand what is your average per customer order that they would go ahead and place. So this is with this in mind, before when you launch or go on live or your brand or your cloud kitchen, I would respect you to go ahead and put a survey in place for that niche amount of crowd. It could be 50 people or 100 people that you reach out with. It could be WhatsApp, or it could be your email, or it could be any kind of survey system that you could do within the physical customer that you meet out and ask questions. Probably that questions is absolutely immediately important, because that will create your menu and your food based on those feedbacks. Let's say out of 100 people that you meet, and if 50 really wanted this particular A food, obviously everybody would say, I'm missing my home, I would love to have with ghee here and there, the pricing control, the packaging has to matter a lot. Eventually you have to burn your hands, right? So keeping all those in loop, putting a business plan around that entire service systems helps you to target your audience and customers based on the survey that you've given. That's one of the greatest stuff that you can ever have. Or push all your survey questions in terms of flyers. See how many people are ordering in when you're already live. Do that 1 month of exercise. You will know exactly how much of you have touched based upon. And the third important thing is all about pricing. Now today you cannot have one pricing for a starting period and then go on. always mention that this is would be your price and tell them why is it so and what are you doing about it. For an Indian, buying a qualitative product, buying a a great processed product, you have a unique equipment that can standardize your food. Nobody bothers right now because you're just a new guy. Nobody's going to listen how it takes a very tedious job to do an online in YouTube. Similarly, it's going to take a lot of while for a business as long as you have your own target audience that you've built. As I mentioned earlier, once you've done all your homework right, if you have a great family system or a great friends network or a network that you can always reach out to, is the one that you have to go and achieve your target audience for. And based on that feedback and your survey that you've done, you can also go ahead and coin your menu and your pricing based on that. It'll actually give you a heads up to go ahead and kickstart. So another thing is that developing a brand identity. This is, I live it up. This is not a one answer or one line or 1 month or it is an ever never ending answer. Developing a brand identity to create a brand, especially on a cloud kitchen. Okay, what is brand? Brand doesn't mean that it's your logo, it's your color. No, it is, in a way, it is all a matter of fact. It is also an intellectual property or a trademark recipe that you ever done with your biryani or your pizza or your sandwich or whatever it is, barbecue. It's also about relating and narrating and following sacrosanct like a Bible, like a prayer, to go ahead and address all your customers' queries and your epitome level of customer services. Satisfaction is what your score, everything matters a lot to create a brand. And what is brand identity? Now, brand identity also comes from your point of view. Example, your R&R biryani. For me, the best packaging comes from R&R Done Biryani. The packaging is excellent. The triangle packaging with short condiments here and there, along with the sweet, explaining how much is the quantity of the rice you give along with the pieces. There's this lovely story on it, and it is an aluminum tin. That's why it's a little bit of expensive because they built a brand on the packaging. Now look at biryani by kilo. They've done a fantastic branding name called Behruz Biryani. I mean, sorry, not biryani by kilo, Rebel Foods Behruz Biryani. A lovely name, right? It hits you hard. It clearly a Mughlai style of biryani with long grain basmati, very succulent meat. You know that there is a lot of hands gone into it in terms of science, in terms of masalas, in terms of the quality, the purity of rice, in terms of cooking style. Everything matters a lot. Only then you get a Behruz biryani. Similarly, McDonald's, Domino's. See, they've created brands. Now we're talking about all the new age brands. You need a long way to go when you create a brand. When you create a brand, the basic step, the simplest step that you can ever do is always remain humble and simple. That's the greatest asset that you can ever do when you're starting a brand-based company or a cloud kitchen or a food chain that can go viral. You never know. Okay, when you put everything, all your steps are right. I mean, I would always suggest that you crawl and you fall and you fail, because failures teaches you how to build brand even more better, greater, on a greater levels of standard. Because unless and until you don't fail, you don't get bad feedback. You've literally held up all your bad things. Sometimes you've churned out, probably you've dished out all the burnt out biryanis. The meat wasn't cooked. So you would learn all these hue and cries. Feedbacks will actually help you to understand how to build your brand. Take my word for it. This is the greatest example that you could ever leverage and build the best of the best portfolios in terms of food chain is concerned by only listening to the customers. Always value customers' feedback, be it bad or good. Do not give any room for the baddest or a saddest or a very what do you call it, a viral feedback wherein you found a cockroach or a fly. No, absolutely no. Then you kill your brand. So the creating a definition of brand identity requires a lot of grit, a lot of gut, and also, as I said, keep it as simple and as humble as possible. These two keywords will help you to kickstart, and as I said, as much as possible, get the embracement of understanding customers' feedback, develop a value chain, value proposition on it, build your brand accordingly based on those feedbacks. You will at least have started your engine. Then you can probably start off in a slow space and then slowly start your engine and push your full throttle in. That's how you kickstart. Okay, in my way. All right. Since we're talking about marketing and promotions, how can you forget about your digital presence all over, right? So digital presence today, without digital presence, you cannot even just move an inch. Today, you're talking about Instagram, Facebook, Google My Business. And here's welcome ChatGPT, the Google Bard. Today, if you look at ChatGPT and ask where you get the best dosas, it'll not throws up 5 or 10 pages of ads. It just tells you three great, preferences. And I'm just giving you a small hint of SEO on auto or on OpenAI ChatGPT. It's very clear the amount of searches customers have done on that locality for masala dosa is the brands will always shows up even in the free module of OpenAI, and ChatGPT paid version is going to be even more critical in terms of how customers have leveraged based on your feedback on Google My Business page. You know, the greatest point that I've given you, it's a hack which I've given you. So please work on it. AI based, SEO based ChatGPT is the future. Any artificial intelligence, because OpenAI has done extremely greatest technology that you have to leverage to build your brand. Okay, mind you that, because otherwise you cannot go ahead. Do not trust any Facebook ads right now, as of now, because ChatGPT is the mother of all technology driven. It is absolutely organic, based on your blogs, based on your customer searches, on the search engines, customers' feedback they have left. Probably, if not only on the online, probably also on different segments, Twitter, Facebook. It picks up all the data and collates and then tells customer, hey, you know what? The best masala dosa in Marathali, you will find these three restaurants. So digital presence having today is not only about social media, being in Facebook, Google, Instagram, or so on and so forth. It's also about building your own brand, your own website on an e-commerce ordering system, a so-called order management system. By using so many, as I said, Urban Piper, Pay, Paid Puja, everybody comes with it. They integrate with your aggregators, your Swiggy, Zomatos. It also integrates with your inventory management for your vendor order management system, for example, Zomato, Instacart with Swiggy. Hyperpure, you can actually eventually having a purchase guide directly ordering to the market, and you would get delivered. So creating a digital presence is a mandate. There's no two ways about it, but you have to go one notch above, making sure that you leverage on an organic style of doing it. Otherwise, Tata, bye bye, see you. Okay, and planning an promotional campaigns. I have two doubts about it. It's also very difficult to do promotional campaigns because you might have a limited budget. Because I have faced it. It's many people will not leverage on Google Ads. They will always trust on the food, saying that my food will sell. There was a lovely question on Facebook. Somebody had asked him, I'm serving one of the best foods in the third floor, and these are the pricing, and these are so everybody out of 53 comments, around 43 comments were like, no. The answer is clear, no. Nobody would step up. There's no lift, by the way. That's one of the greatest reasons. So even if it is a food is served very well under the price points in third floor, the main keyword is about the convenience. Similarly, when it comes to promotional activity campaigns, how convenient is your food or your delivery system when you're utilizing and helping customers to get their food as soon as possible is the most challenging key takeaway points for a lot of companies and restaurants. It's a big question mark that you have to ask yourself, right? Specifically when you're doing a food chain. Because today, creating a brand, it's also about running a great online campaigns. You might have a greatest of greatest ad, something weird like how we had 7-Up and the Sprite and these days Mentos and the fog ones. आपके पास क्या है? मेरे पास fog है. Greatest taglines of ever businesses in online ads. Making ads and promotional activities are something which you have to shy away right now, because ChatGPT is going to take away all your essence of marketing, because it's all about organic. Keep that in mind. Your SEO comes first in terms of any Google crawler or a web crawler, what you call it as. Your crab, it's a crab basically, it moves all over. It's an algorithm which states and researches only those important points. Okay, how do you build these points? As I said, it's all about having a greatest video, transparency, quality of standard of quality of output of video that you do, how you communicate, how do you do a question and answer, how do you handle the feedback, your customer service, all comes out in picture, and then go ahead and have an online presence or probably create an ad based on that. Only then you will have some kind of value added benefit, people ordering again and again and again, and eventually within a 6-month span of time, you would have built enough of portfolios of customers ordering in. You can track. Best part is that you can track the data if you have your own website. Mind you, if you use some other third party or different data, you will not be able to get customers' name, address, and telephone number. In turn, you will not be able to do reverse engineering or probably retarget the audiences based on the ads that you really want to sell. Imagine that tomorrow is Onam. So if you want to do something related to Onam, if you had a very good customer base, you would have reached out to those niched out, Hindu customers and probably delivering them Odam Sadhya. Even if it is payasam, the sweet dessert that you can ever do, nothing like it, right? You order Sadhya for the matter of, let's say, 500 rupees, and you get 1 kg of payasam, right? That's the greatest deal that you can ever do. So many things can be done in marketing. Again, I don't want to get into marketing ideas for food. I have just my whole brain explodes when I talk about food. See, today food is also underrated in many ways. Everybody says, free doesn't work, quality only works. Quality doesn't work. It's all about promotional. It's all about being there and slogging. Everybody has his own say, but many people have not made their own silk route. Today, if you want to do a silk route, a so-called route which you really want to follow, it's a very hardful, painful steps. It's a steep climb, but once you climbed up, and then it's always a lovely roller coaster that you will ever have when you created such kind of value chain and build on by step by step by step in whatever context while creating a branding is concerned. But again, always go to your drawing board and do your research and development first, because if you do research and development first, you would have addressed all these queries. Because before going research and development, the first step you'll ever do is market research, and research. Okay, so I think that's about it. I think for the matter of fact for this evening, yeah. Leveraging online football, social media marketing, and cost inputs doesn't matter, but these are the greatest points. Building target audience, developing your your brand identity, creating a digital presence. It's all social media. Influencer marketing, let's keep it subject not for the cloud kitchen, because they're going to order it once, they're going to share the review. That's not going to help. As long as you get them on board and talk about it, spend some time, do a complete 1 week research, explain them how it works, let them cover every aspect of cooking while receiving, cutting, chopping, cleaning, hygiene, packaging, delivery system. Let them take some calls, address those important calls, like how Michael Jordan did it, Shaquille O'Neal did it for his burger, for his five burger. So many things can be done by using influencer. That's for another day, for another subject. But today we're looking at marketing and promotions. It's very clear. Keep these 5 important points in place and work on it. Get back to your drawing board, do your research, keep that research, put it in your A3 size, post it, and make that as a process that this is exactly what you need to follow. And let that be talking point when you're creating next time your video on your YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or whatever the shorts video range that you want to create. That'll be a greatest asset that you can ever think of. Oof, that was a quick half an hour session. This time flew by as soon as possible. Okay, so with that in mind, as I mentioned always again, if you have any further questions on the Cloud Kitchen to launch and branding, please go ahead and put your comment section. Write an email. It's called R Romeo B Bravo S Sierra November and LLC at gmail.com. RBSN LLC at gmail.com is my email ID. And you can also look up on my About Us page at Royal Bangalore Food, all over Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Koo, all the social media. And you need to be in all these places, man, if you really want to scale up. You'll have different customers. We'll talk about different customer strategy in terms of where you're located in the social media. Specifically, your Twitter is going to be a banter kind of problems. You're going to be a LinkedIn, you're going to have a professionals, probably they don't want to order at all. I hate admins, by the way. Yeah, but see, you want to look at the young generations. As long as you reach on Instagram, on Twitter, probably Threads, which has come out new. So watch out, look out in terms of marketing promotion. It's vast oceans. Lay your road small, lay the foundation well, do your market research, jump over. I'm sure you'll be able to do a wonderful marathon. With that in mind, I'm calling it a night. Thanks for sticking by, listening to my video. Like and subscribe this video and share as much as possible for those entrepreneur or a startup who wants to really create a value chain of brand building or food chain in India, specifically starting from Bangalore. This is Paul, take care, signing off. Cheers. Bye-bye.